Welcome to the Make course. I'm Rudi Schlaf. In this tutorial I will discuss character arrays and strings. Strings is an expression for text in C++, and so I will discuss the use of arrays to store text or strings, and I will discuss a few useful C++ methods that make working with strings easier. Before we get started, let me point out that for doing the tutorial you should know how to use the serial port. And if you don't know how to do that, then I recommend to go to eeawesome.com and the 6 videos that are posted here that teach you how to use the Arduino, how to get started with it. And if you make it to video 4, then you know how to use the serial port, and that's what you need for this tutorial. If you're new to programming in general, then I recommend to check out the other videos of our Introduction to Programming series. They're posted on makecourse.com under the Videos tab. And so there are 2 videos that I specifically recommend before doing this tutorial now. That's the one about character variables and the one here, number 7, about numerical arrays. Because what we're doing in this video now is combine these 2 and we make character arrays. If you watched our earlier video about arrays, then you know now that arrays are nothing but grouped variables of the same type. The exciting difference from regular variables is that each of the array elements can be addressed with an index, and that allows numerical access to each of the array elements. So you can make a for loop that systematically accesses the array elements one after the other and writes some data into them. Character arrays allow to store text in such arrays, and so each of the array elements holds one of the characters of a word that is to be stored in the memory. The final element of a character array needs to be the null character, and that is the sign that the word is ending at this point. Each of the characters is stored in the ASCII format, and so you would find a 97 for the A and a 119 for the W. The assignments of the ASCII table are shown here. Each of the characters has a number, and the null character that's at the end of our string, that is the 0. Okay, time to put this to the test. Here's my Arduino sketch. I start out with type definitions, so I'm making 2 of these character arrays, one called text1, the other one called text2. And in text1 I write make course, and in text2 I put awesome. And then I go here into the setup function and I start the serial port at 9600 baud, and then it's time to go into the main loop. And in the main loop, all I'm doing is printing text1, and then I'm printing text2, and then it'll repeat indefinitely. So let's upload this and see what happens. Okay, and here we go. So it's just printing make course awesome, make course awesome. So you see that we can use a character array to store text and then use it in our code. So let's explore this concept of arrays a little bit more here. Here I simply said serial print text1 or text2. Of course, we can also address individual elements of this array, and so if we wanted to see a C here, let's try if that works. We could address here the 5th element. Let's just see how this works. So let's upload this. We got the O instead of the C. So what happened here? I guess 5 addresses the 6th element, so we're starting counting at a 0. So if you wanted the C, we could put here a 4 and upload that again. And so here we get the C. Okay, so far so good. I think by now you understand that text is stored in a character array and that you can address each of the array elements like in a numerical array with the index number. So let's explore a few things. Since text is a different animal than numbers, there are a bunch of interesting methods in C++ that we can use here and get some useful things done with such character arrays. So for example, if you wanted to know how long one of these character arrays is, then you could use the string length command. And so let me implement that here, serial println. And now we use that command, string length of text 2 and another bracket and then the semicolon. So let's see if that uploads. And let's see what we get. So here we have awesome, and then it prints a 7. And so awesome, of course, has 7 characters. And so you see that the string length command gives us the length of the string that is stored in the array that contains awesome without the null character, right? The null character is, of course, the 8th element of this array. You may wonder where this string length command is coming from. I went here to the arduino.cc website, and if we go on reference, you will not find this command here. This means that there is more to programming C++ than what you see here in the Arduino reference. So if you go to another website that is a little bit geared more towards professional C++ programming, it's c++.com, you will find here a list of C libraries that one can use in C++, and normally one would have to include these libraries with an include statement, but the Arduino IDE includes a whole bunch of them with a few interesting commands in there. And so when it comes to strings, we want to use the string library, and this library is included in the Arduino IDE invisibly. And so by using the string length command, essentially what happens, we access this library, and string length is one of the members of this library. If you're interested in libraries and all this stuff, there is a great bunch of videos on makecourse.com that introduces classes and objects and libraries. But that's a little bit beyond our video here. I just wanted you to show where this is coming from. And so here we have it. Under other, they list strlen. And so we can here click on it, and then you would get, like in the Arduino reference, you would get an example how to use it and a definition of this command. And so if you go back here, you see that there is a whole bunch of methods or functions that you can use on strings. Okay, let's do one more of them. So here, for example, strncpy, so that's copy characters from a string. So let's see how this is supposed to work. So we see here we have this function or method rather, and this method here has the destination string as first parameter, and then the source string, and then we can define here a number of characters that we want to copy from the source to the destination. So down here you see how this is to be used. So they define the strings, and then here you see you just use the string copy command with the string name of the destination and the string name of the source, and then here you put in the number that you want to copy. Down here they just put in a number. Okay, let's put this to the test. I modified my sketch a little bit, so I added the destination string with a length of 5. And remember, you need to put here one number higher than what you actually need because of the null character. And then down here I use the string copy command. And so I say string copy destination string, and we copy from text number 1, so that's the one that contains make course, and we want to copy 4 characters. And then I simply print the destination string, and let's see what we get. And here we go, it's printing make, as you would expect, the first 4 characters of make course. Pretty awesome, isn't it? Okay, that brings us to the end of this tutorial. I think you know now that arrays can be used to store text. Such arrays need to be defined as character type. You also know now that there are many more C++ commands than shown in the Arduino CC reference. If you are curious about those, just visit c++.com. They have a full reference and also a whole bunch of tutorials. This brings us to the end of our video about character arrays and strings. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.